This is the mother of podcasts. We are thrilled to embark on this journey with you. This podcast is a safe space where we celebrate the beauty and chaos of motherhood, exploring the triumphs, tribulations, and taboo topics that come with it. From the little superstitions that you followed or questioned during your pregnancy to parenting gentle or not, and everything in between. We'll delve into the diverse experiences of women from all walks of life. Whether you're a mom or a mom to be, or simply a woman with a story to share, this podcast is for you. So grab a cup of coffee, put on your comfiest shoes, and let's dive into the messy, magnificent world of motherhood together.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Mother of Podcast. Today I have a very special guest with me, a friend who has been with me since 2010. She is a fellow mom now, an entrepreneur, and someone who made a very brave choice of getting back to the classroom right after embracing motherhood. So, Isha Sharma, she is an entrepreneur. She graduated from Indian Institute of Management right after becoming a mother. So, in this episode, we will dive into the details of her support system, why she took this decision, and how things pan out for her.
So, before we get into this conversation about moving back to the classroom after becoming a mother, I want you to start with your pregnancy story with us. How was your pregnancy? How did you feel throughout your pregnancy? And all about your support system.
Okay. So I conceived Anahat, who will turn 4 on 10th. So I conceived her in 2020. So it was not it was a planned pregnancy because I have PCOS. So I go with a plan in life. I'm not an impromptu person, and I like birthday surprises. Nothing else. No other surprises I like. I'm very straightforward. I have a plan. I have a book where I write everything. Like everything in my life is I transcript it. And I try to, fulfill it. It gives me a clear headspace that okay, these are the dreams that and probably this is the trajectory of life that I should work on. I haven't told you about this, Chanda, ever before, but I think I'm a very weird person in a way.
You're a very secretive person.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a very secretive person. I'm a weird person. I am not that easy to handle, maybe. But I think kudos to Naha, she's handling me. So I conceived her in 2020, and PCOD was detected in when I was 23. So I did not tell it to anyone, not even my boyfriend, because I think that someday I'll die or something would happen to me. So I started taking I started taking healthy diet. I did everything because I knew that I have to get married, I have to have a baby, and I want to raise a baby. So that was pretty much clear in my head that I will give birth to a baby, and that too in my 20s. That was pretty much planned. So, so in 2019, like probably October onwards, I started gymming. I started doing exercises. I attended a yoga camp. I got to know about the exercises that would make my body more fertile. I did not tell it to even Adhar, my husband, that okay, I am doing all this because you know me.
Yeah.
I'm, I don't tell anything. I don't tell my plans and my goals to anyone. So I started doing everything, and by God's grace, like I had a word with my gynae, and she's my family doctor. The person who's been treating me for PCOD. So I told her that okay, I want to I want to get pregnant. So she's like, you were on break for 2 months. Why did you plan then? So I was losing my weight and keeping a check on all my vitals. So she's like, Acha, theek hai. She gave me medicine in January. I got ill in January. And February was my sister-in-law's wedding, and my husband and I, we partied a lot. And I followed the medication and everything. Secret, like probably I told Adhar that Adhar, okay, that's the plan. So, and I conceived in Ahad. So I did not like third in I conceived in Feb and March 13th. So I was due, my periods were due on 3rd of Feb 3rd of March. And I thought it's okay, ठीक है, late तो आ ही जाएंगे, आ तो जाएंगे. So until 10th or 11th, so it was 9th holy party. We were partying, and 10th I just called up my gynae कि भाई आया नहीं कुछ, क्या करें. So he's like, I think you're pregnant. Like, I don't think so I'm pregnant, because we were too occupied in a lot of stuff in our life.
Yeah.
So she was like, me, I think you're pregnant. So I was in office. So I called up Adhar ke, get 2 prega news, one for the night and another one for the morning. So,
Just to be sure.
so yeah. So I checked it that night and it was positive. I did not tell anyone, only Adhar. मैंने कहा, Adhar, we will not share it with anyone right now. Let's check the early morning thing, because that is
More
95%.
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, more accurate. So we so he is a very finicky person, Adhar. So like, उठ सुबह सुबह 5 बजे उठा दिया मुझे कि जा देख के आ क्या स्टेटस है. So it was positive. So when I achieve something, no, I until then also I share it with few people, like 2-3 people, until I'm dead sure that these few people will be happy. So we got out of the room and I went to my mother-in-law's room, and I was like, my husband said that it's a good news. So she's like, Isha got a job in XYZ company. So मैंने कहा नहीं मम्मा. तो मम्मा कहते हैं इससे बेटर गुड न्यूज क्या है तुम्हारी लाइफ में. तो I was like, so she's expecting and all that. So yeah, I called up my mom and I was like, yeah, I'm expecting. तो she's like, मैं सो रही हूँ, मैं उठ के फोन करती हूँ. तो उनको लग रहा था कि
Typical ज्योति आंटी.
तो मैं सो रही हूँ, मैं अभी आराम से फोन करूंगी. मैंने कहा ठीक है फिर. तो मतलब, and then 13th, and it was a COVID pregnancy. So we were,
I think it started after 1 month only, no? The first
yes,
lockdown.
we made a separate vertical for COVID, coronavirus. हम ये सब कुछ कर रहे थे, और and I was making fun of few females कि अगर इस टाइम में pregnant हो जाएंगी तो क्या करेंगी. तो you know that fun and I think वो कहते हैं जुबान पे सरस्वती. तो उस टाइम पे बैठ गई थी, और बस हो गया सीन, लॉकडाउन हो गया, मेड्स आनी बंद होगी. ओ शिट, आई मीन मेरे और मेरे हस्बैंड ने इतना टाइम कभी साथ ही नहीं निकाला, क्योंकि आई वाज ऑलवेज वर्किंग ऑन वीकेंड्स. आई लव वर्किंग ऑन वीकेंड्स. देयर इज नो वर्क इन ऑफिस.
Plus, I guess you conceived 2 years after your wedding, or 1.5 years?
I
years.
got married in April 2018.
Yeah, so
and I conceived in like पौने 2 साल कह सकते हैं. So was then it was a COVID pregnancy, and it was my pregnancy was not easy as such. So I did yoga for the entire 9 months. Like I did not.
I want to like just to take ask Isha here, like because I'm also a PCOS case and I conceived and I did not know. I
for
was
3
going
months.
through for 3 months, almost 3 months. I was also taking medications. I was gymming. I had lost about 8 kgs in, let's say, 1 month when I was taking care of my PCOS. But I had no intention of getting pregnant. Like at the moment, I wanted a baby. I wanted to raise a baby, but I had no intention of getting pregnant at that moment. So I really wanted to take a moment here, Isha, and
like just tell to all the girls going through the thick of PCOS that there is hope in having a child. It
Yeah.
is treatable. It is possible to, combat through PCOS by very small steps taken every day. Just like take a moment to, ignite that hope for women who are going through this.
Yeah, see, motherhood, getting pregnant, delivering a baby and raising a child is something which comes from within, firstly. And PCOD is not something, a deal breaker or something wherein you would die or you cannot conceive and you won't be able to have babies. It's just a lifestyle disorder, A, and it happens to almost 7 in 10 girls these days in India. That's what I know about India. I don't know about any other country in the world, but India, yes, because of sedentary lifestyle, because our parents were more fertile, our mothers were more fertile, maybe because they were doing something, like they were always working, their body was always moving.
They
So
were
for
more
us,
active physically, I would say,
yeah,
like
yeah,
घर
yeah,
के
yeah, more
काम and
active.
all of that.
Yeah, yeah. And so when I got to know about PCOD, so my gynae, uh, she's a godmother to me. She has helped me in every situation. I've cried in front of her. I've said that the first time I went for my laser, I cried in front of the laser doctor also. I said that why on earth, you know, because there is no acceptance, because since childhood, girls are being raised in a way that you have to look in a certain way, you know ki you have to have a clean face.
You
There should
cannot
be
have
no
facial hair.
yeah, you cannot have facial hair, you cannot have, stuff like that. So मेरे में भी acceptance नहीं थी. I'm not God. So I had to go through a lot. So I was in health. My beat in journalism was health. So when I was in INS, so that was I still thank God that I did health beat, because it taught me a lot to have a healthy lifestyle. So I started eating a lot of greens, and I started gymming and yoga, because there is fat in the lower belly, right? In the lower belly region of the body. तो वहां पे मुझे पता था कि यार मुझे बच्चा करना है और मुझे हर महीने पीरियड्स चाहिए. मतलब अभी भी आफ्टर an hour, even if we have no plans for a second baby, still I'm pretty sure, and I'm this head is very much clear कि हर महीने मुझे पीरियड्स चाहिए. तो इस पीरियड्स के सर्कल को मेंटेन करने के लिए मुझे हेल्दी रहना है. So so my doctor said that you're not supposed to eat sugar, and you're not supposed to eat fried. And I used to love chocolates a lot. And जब मुझे पता लगा कि मैंने कहा नहीं यार, मेरी हेल्थ से ऊपर मुझे कोई चीज है ही नहीं. I stopped eating chocolate. I stopped eating fried, and I conceived. So you have to have a control on these stuff, these these fatty food, and it helped me. It helps me till date.
So quickly take us through your pregnancy, because
So
you were in lockdown,
my
I think, for
pregnancy.
almost for 6 months, 6 7 months.
No, no, no. All for 12. I mean, I did not step out even after the birth of an Ahad.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I had a word with you after completing 3 months, that I messaged you that okay,
Yeah.
I'm expecting. So my journey was very, very tough, because I'm a thal minor. So thal minor tha to it's like my body cannot produce iron by itself, and I am an anemic. तो मतलब मैं हाफ एन आवर से ज्यादा खड़ी नहीं हो पाती थी. My legs used to pain. Still, I used to work. Still, I used to, and my and sticking and being with Adhar for 24 hours was like very difficult for me. I am not that lovey-dovey kind of mother,
It's
or
not just you, it's everybody. So I think Adhar also
so
feels the same.
I don't know how he feels, but I was like कि इसके साथ मेरी शादी हुई और इसका बच्चा है, मतलब बहुत मुश्किल है हम दोनों के साथ. So 24 hours was like crazy insane. And
Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt for all of you listening to us. So Isha had a love marriage. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि
yeah.
इसकी जबरदस्ती शादी हुई थी.
So yeah, so for the like I went to my hometown Ludhiana, or I still remember for 7 days I was hospitalized because there was some weird pain in my upper abdomen. I don't know what it was. We still don't have any idea. All the scans, everything were done, and it was very bad. So we were unable to step out. The hormonal changes, my husband was unable to understand because he was unable to understand. There's no because.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. So it was a very difficult phase. So when I started feeling an ahat in my belly, I used to wake up every morning. I used to do yoga at around 6:30. Uh, and then I used to do meditation in the evening so as to keep this mind at place. I used to make yummy food for myself and for the family because I love to cook on my conditions. and that's it. 9 months over. My EDD was 11th of November. Anahat was just not coming out of this belly. It was increasing. At 10th of November, my doctor, we had to forcibly take her out because I think she was too much happy in my belly. So 10th of November, she came out, and I always wanted to have a cesarean delivery. I was not prepared for normal delivery. I want to have an easy delivery wherein I'm just sitting because 9 months were so troublesome. No, I was just not prepared. I was like, I need to lie down, cut my belly, take it out, and I'm done.
So I think it'll be a relief for a lot of women who will hear this because we are said that normal birth is good and it is good for your body and everything. But I think knowing you after 4 years also now having an art, I think you're fine health wise.
Yeah,
There's no issue. So
completely.
I think
I
if you
think
are going for a C-section, even planned or unplanned, it's completely fine.
yeah. So I told you, no, so I had a word with my doctor, my auntie. Dr. Vanita is her name.
Okay.
So I called her कि if my doctor says कि C-section में ये होता है वो होता है, so she's like यार you have to trust your gynae. ये सारी फालतू की बातें हैं कि ये पैसा छापने के लिए ऐसा करती हैं and all that. This is all bullshit. So she said कि she's like a god to you, and you have to tell her that do whatever you think is the best for me. So we just went there, and she said that we asked her what's the what's the ratio for a normal and a cesarean. So she said 70-30. 70 for cesarean and 30 for normal. And she gave me that epidural and whatever, these injections are. I don't even know the fancy names. So because so she gave me, and my mother-in-law said कि अब इसको शाम तक हम wait करें, फिर वो she has to go to so much pain, and there was this female who was shouting, howling because of pain, and Adhar, my husband, and I, we zoned out. Like, no, yeah. Adhar was like, I'm not interested in hearing her. I am ready for my baby to get into my arms. So, one thing that I want to say is that parents should not predict the sex of the kid during the pregnancy of a woman. That was a game changer for me because my in-laws, like my father-in-law used to say ki, लड़का होगा. My mom used to say लड़का होगा. My there were many more relatives also. They used to say लड़का होगा. तो उन्होंने ना मेरे माइंड में फिट कर दिया कि लड़का होगा. ठीक है. तो 9th month, my best friend, she called me from US and she said, Isha, I always wanted to have a girl child because लड़कियों के ना कपड़े बहुत सुंदर आते हैं. तो पता नहीं, I don't know what that was, a signal from God that Isha, you have to be prepared. It can be anything, boy, girl, whatever. The baby can be anything. So we were shortlisting the names for both the sexes, the boy and the girl. So in 9th standard, I did yoga for the first time. Meditation, 10th standard, I did meditation. And during meditation, I promised that so there's this Anahat Chakra, the heart chakra of human body. So I was very fascinated by the name word called Anahat. So I was like, whenever I have a baby girl in my life, it is the baby girl's name would be Anahat. तो मैंने अनाहत शॉर्टलिस्ट कर लिया लड़की के लिए और लड़के के लिए. So we all sat together, all four of us, and we decided the name for the boy and for the girl. और हमने दोनों के वो बनवा लिए,
Announcement
wallpaper
cards.
announcement cards. Yes. See, that is why I love you, for the fancy things that you tell me. So we got it made, and so the first time, so she came into this world, and I heard her crying, अनाहत. तो मैंने कहा लड़की है. मैंने ऐसे बोला नर्स को, तो उसने कहा नहीं, रुको रुको, भी आपको दिखाएंगे. तो दे गॉट मी, दे मेड मी सी अनाहत. तो उन्होंने कहा क्या दिख रहा है. मैंने कहा लड़की. तो उन्होंने कहा क्या दिख रहा है. मैंने कहा लड़की दिख रही है. तो दे सेड कि एंड एंड आई डोंट नो वेदर आई शुड एक्सेप्ट दिस और नॉट, बट मुझे लगा कि ये क्या हो गया सच में. दिस
Because
इज
you were
रियलिटी.
hearing just one thing all through.
हाँ, बिकॉज बस एक इंसान मेरी लाइफ में जिसने बोला कि दैट वाज माय मदर इन लॉ. शी सेड जो भी होगा ना ईशा, हेल्दी बच्चा हो. मैं आई एम नॉट इन फेवर कि तू बॉय चाइल्ड डिलीवर कर या तू गर्ल चाइल्ड डिलीवर कर, जो भी बेबी हो हेल्दी हो. द ओनली ह्यूमन इन माय लाइफ हु यूज्ड टू से कि जो भी हो. एंड आधार, ऑब्वियसली माय हस्बैंड, ही वाज ऑलवेज इंक्लाइंड टू हैव अ गर्ल चाइल्ड. सो I was shocked at once. I did not confess it to anyone. I confessed it to my mother-in-law after a year and a half.
You
That
told me
you,
that, I guess, after 2-3 years. You've told me
yeah.
also.
So yeah. So stuff like this should not be done in the family. Don't uh, predict the sex of the kid until the kid is out. In India, especially, that is. And I held Anahat after when I held her. Then obviously the love and everything and affection, it comes out. But yeah, right now she's my life. So that's the journey of my motherhood.
Yeah. So now you took a very brave step. I also want to discuss your postpartum period in very brief, because I know you were not going through, it was not very rosy for you. I know you struggled a lot. So just few tips that helped you come out of it.
Nothing helped me.
Okay.
Nobody helped me. Only I think I was I so so I post delivering an ahat, I got a fit. You know that. Which
Not
I
not in
haven't.
detail, but yeah, I knew something was not right.
Yeah, so it was so basically I was going through a neurological treatment soon after delivering Anahat because my body couldn't take it. There was too much loss of blood and there was a short circuit in my brain, because of which I fainted for like about 5 minutes. And I used to cry after delivering Anahat because I had no idea how to hold a baby, how to feed a baby, feed कब आएगी, कैसे आएगी. We were not taught यार. मतलब हम जापा पे या हम अपनी मदर इन लॉज पे या हम we are dependent on people. However, a hospital or there should be a staff of people that should actually train the mothers ki that is how you're supposed to hold a baby, that is how you're supposed to feed a baby. And these were the things that I was going through, I was facing, and I used to cry. So my father-in-law, he was like, "Hey, this is uh, don't worry, Isha. If you want a medication also, we'll get it done for you." So I had no idea ki this is postpartum because I was so sad. I was shattered, and nothing helped me. I helped myself only. Anahat probably helped me. She used to smile. She used to, I don't know, nothing helped me. So the tips that I would say to expecting mothers is read, listen to the podcast, something that can make you spread the awareness, make you understand what is postpartum. Only you can help yourself. Don't expect your husband to be a superhero, to be a god, that he would take care of your emotions, which I did. So don't expect from anyone. Help your own self, and you'll be at a happy space.
Also, because I think you are going through that in your mental health is something that only you can understand for yourself because you are going through it, right? And every, just like every pregnancy is different, every postpartum is different. There are people who do not experience even like a slight hint of even postpartum blues, and they are all joy and rosy, and that picture is absolutely amazing. And then there are people who are not able to connect with their child for months. All right, so I guess preparation is the key. And in today's time where information is available on your fingertips, there are different ways, several programs which new mothers can enroll in and prepare themselves mentally and physically to get through it, which sadly again I came to know after I delivered. But yes, um the postpartum depression, blue converting into postpartum depression is a big deal, which we really need to prepare ourselves for. And trust me, nobody can help you. They can be empathetic, sympathetic, but help, I'm pretty sure it's not, it's unrealistic to actually expect from somebody who's not going through it and is from a different gender altogether, your partner, to help you get through it.
I
It's
completely second you.
quite unrealistic. Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into your decision of going back to the classroom, pursuing MBA from one of the prestigious institute in India, and what made you, take that step?
So now I turned one, and so I got calls from two different organizations, media organizations, that okay, you can come and join us. And there was an organization who they asked me to head a health department, the news section. So I had a word with Adhar and my mother-in-law. And they were like, "Ki, Isha, it's your call. If you want to join, then we are supportive in every possible way. But then you'll have to leave your kid to a nanny, or probably to a nanny, because the attention that probably parents can give, that attention we cannot expect from grandparents, because they have their own life, they have raised children, they can only provide us with the support system, they can be around. But there are some things that I think, that's my version, that probably parents can only do. So they so I thought, no, I can't leave an Ahat to a nanny, because my mom was available when I needed her. So I can't do this. I'm not. I am ambitious, but not to a degree that I can leave my kid.
Not at the cost of leaving your kid alone.
Yeah. So I am. That's probably that's my upbringing, conditioning since childbirth, and belonging to a background of journalism. You've seen so much. You read so much things happening to the kids and the mental health and everything. So I was like, नहीं यार, मैं अनाहत के साथ ही रहूंगी, whatever it takes. So I have a very close friend. He's my senior also. He's in Times of India. So I called him. His name is Rakesh Chandra. I called him and I said कि टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में अगर वर्क फ्रॉम होम है तो करवा दो, नौकरी चाहिए उनका, बिकॉज आई एम डन. I want to be productive. I have to utilize, otherwise my the brain, it will be full of gray cells. There'll be no white cells. So I want I want to work now. I want to use this brain somewhere. तो उन्होंने मुझे बोला कि ईशा, the world is all about AI and analytics. These were the two terms he used, which I had no idea what it is about, what was it all about. I had to Google it. तो अगर तू कुछ कर सकती है ना तो तू डिग्री कर ले. मैंने बोला तो आई सेड, तो द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ही आस्क्ड मी वाज कि अगर तू पैसा नहीं कमाएगी तो तेरा पति तुझे रख लेगा 2 साल के लिए घर पे. I was never raised in a way that somebody would say that, because I was always raised कि कमाओ, कमाना पड़ेगा जिंदगी जीने के लिए, सांस लेनी है तो कमाना है. मुझे कभी किसी ने बोला ही नहीं ऐसे, क्योंकि यही बोलते आए ना तब लोग के करना पड़ेगा, करना पड़ेगा, काम करो काम करो काम करो. तो कभी घर बैठने का कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं समझ आया. तो मैंने कहा मैं आधार से पूछती हूँ कि क्या वो मुझे अफोर्ड कर सकता है. तो मैंने अभी तक पूछा ही नहीं, मैंने किसी से नहीं पूछा, सिर्फ अब ये बात अपने तक ही रखी. और अब मैं तेरे से बात कर रही हूँ, मैं चुप करके बैठी हुई थी और मैंने कहा करते हैं कुछ रिसर्च, लेट्स डू द रिसर्च. तो आई स्टार्टेड रिसर्चिंग क्या है. तो IIM कैलकटा का एक प्रोग्राम था, विमेन एम्पावरमेंट. मैंने कहा मुझे क्या जरूरत है एम्पावरमेंट की, छोड़ो. तो दे कॉल्ड मी. सो सो दिस फीमेल कॉल्ड मी एंड शी टोल्ड मी. मैंने इसने कहा इसमें एनरोल हो जाओ. मैंने कहा मुझे जरूरत ही नहीं है इसकी. So like I was at a senior position in my previous organization. मुझे क्या करना है तूने, you know. तो मैंने उसको बोला कि यार अगर ना कुछ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस या एनालिटिक्स में है तो बता दे. तो उसने मुझे सब भेज दिया, ब्रोशर और फी स्ट्रक्चर, सब भेज दिया उसने मुझे. तो ये जब मुझे भेजा तो मुझे पता लगा उसकी फी स्ट्रक्चर वाज इन लैक्स, आई मीन मोर देन 15 lakhs. तो ये सब भेज दिया तो मुझे लगा कि मैं अब क्या करूंगी ना, बहुत एक्सपेंसिव सीन है ना, अपनी सेविंग्स तो है ही नहीं, मतलब खत्म है ना. तो
So journalists, all journalists out there will, I think, agree to it. हमें पैसे
तो
नहीं मिलते, हमें कभी पैसे नहीं मिले कि हम उनको सेव कर
हम
सके.
जिंदगी जी सकते हैं.
हाँ.
आई थिंक वी आर फुल ऑफ लाइफ. वी कैन सिट एट दैट प्ले, वो कौन सा है CP में, वो जर्नलिस्ट का क्लब जो है,
प्रेस क्लब ऑफ
प्रेस
इंडिया.
क्लब ऑफ
प्रेस
इंडिया.
क्लब. वी कैन सिट एट प्रेस क्लब.
वहां पे सब्सिडाइज खाना खा सकते हैं.
हाँ, सस्ती दारू पी लेंगे, 90 रुपए में वोडका का ड्रिंक है. तो इट्स सो इजी. तो पता ही नहीं था. तो मैंने उससे पूछा, आई हैड अ वर्ड विद दैट फीमेल. आई कॉल्ड हर कि यार सेविंग्स तो है नहीं, पैसे अभी मेरे पास है नहीं, तो यू टेल मी व्हाट कैन वी डू. तो शी सेड लोन ले लो आप. मैंने कहा ठीक है लोन ले लेती हूँ. तो उसने मुझे सारा लोन, मैंने सब पूछ लिया, लोन कैसे लेते हैं, ये कैसे लेते हैं, वो कैसे लेते हैं. तो अब मेरे को अब ये टर्मिनोलॉजी समझ आती है मुझे कि क्या है क्या नहीं है. तो उसने मुझे कहा लोन ले लो ये वो, बट यार आपको कोलैटरल कुछ तो चाहिए ना आपके नाम का. मेरे नाम का तो एक चेयर भी नहीं है. ठीक है. तो मुझे लगा कि बट मैंने फिर भी स्मार्ट मूव लिया, आधार से बात की कि यार हम लोन ले लेंगे। मैंने आधार से बात की कि आधार व्हाट से मैं आगे पढ़ लूं। तो आधार ने कहा इट्स योर कॉल, मैं तो तुझे पिछले 3-4 सालों से बोल रहा हूँ पढ़ ले पढ़ ले पढ़ ले। तो फिर मैंने आधार से बात की कि यार आधार ऐसे ऐसे है, इतने पैसे लगेंगे। तो आधार ने मुझे कहा कि लेट्स हैव अ वर्ड विद पापा। दो आई द पर्सन हु आई लव is Mr. Anup Gupta, my father-in-law. He has supported me, held my hand on every decision I've taken in my life. So basically, my father-in-law and my husband, they agreed, and my mother-in-law was not in town. So I had no idea about stats, anything. So Adhar used to teach me. Anahat was just 15 months old when we took this decision. She was on my feed, and by God's grace, studied a lot, like did a lot of studying. Um, and I cracked the entrance. For many people, it was like a child's play, but for me, it was tough because the last I studied maths was in class 10th, and that too after 10 years, maybe I had to 10, yeah. So that's how, and I cracked it. And during my campus immersion, all the family members, we all went there, like my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my driver, my cook, because we thought that how will we manage? So we took a Airbnb, and during so it was for 5 days, the campus immersion in IIM Kashipur. So during the break time, my husband and our driver used to get an ahat. I used to feed her. Then she used to go home. Then after 3 hours, I used to again feed her. They used to get an ahat to the campus, and it was a very beautiful experience altogether. So because I had that sense of purpose in life that I want to upscale myself. I want to do something which would probably help me get into the corporate world, because I wanted to have that work-life balance. And I had that relentless curiosity in me that I have to learn something, because I cannot sit at home. I'm not a kitty party person. I cannot make random friends. I look that I'm a very extrovert, but I think I'm an ambivert, if that is the right word. A mixture of extro and intro. That is what I am. So I can't just go up to people and say hi. Not like that, not me. So I went to the campus first day. Second day, they all started using jargons. कुछ नहीं पता. So the degree I did is MBA in analytics. So अगर ये analytics word इतना भारी था कि पता ही नहीं था analytics क्या होता है. So the entire class, there were about 95 students. Everybody knew कि ठीक है ये लड़की है journalism, इसको कुछ पता ही नहीं है. I mean, and I am, if I have to do something, I have to do that. And I will start preparing for something without the same thing. I don't discuss. So I used to read, I used to listen to the podcast, YouTube videos. I, it was just insane. After 1 month, I thought that Isha nahi ho payega. But my father-in-law is like, nahi karna hai appa ne. तुझे ट्यूशन जाना है तो ट्यूशन जा. So I took tuition for maths and probability for the first 3 months, because I had no idea what are these professors talking about. मतलब अब समझ आती है कि अच्छा इतनी इजी चीज बता रहे थे. But fancy language and fancy terms. I told you, I have to ask people, what are you talking about? I have to Google it. So whenever these guys used to talk, I used to note the jargons, put it on my WhatsApp, and I used to Google everything. कि ठीक है, next time इनको मिलूंगी तो I'll have a reply. So it was a very beautiful experience. 18 months, Anahat was just 18 months old. And in every 3 months, we were asked to go to the campus. And then everything happened step by step. my doctor had asked me to sleep for 9 hours daily. So I used to study the entire night after making an hour sleep. I used to listen the classroom recordings every day of every subject. Imagine every subject I used to 3 hours. एक 1.5 घंटे की क्लास में 3 घंटे में सुनती थी, पॉज कर करके, उसकी स्पीड स्लो करके प्रोफेसर की, कि यार अगर अगर मुझे कोई, so there were many new softwares that were being introduced. I used to Google. I used to call up my friends. So there were many people who helped me, my batchmates. So Gautam and all. So they used to take कि अच्छा ये सुन ले, खान साहब एक करके कौन है वो सर है वो खान, है ना,
खान अकेडमी।
खान एकेडमी, उनके मैं देखती होती थी लेक्चर्स जो बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं यार, मतलब उनसे मैं देखती होती थी कि अच्छा ये क्वेश्चन का ये है। एंड या इट वेंट वेल, आई स्कोर्ड अ गुड CGPA, GPA sorry, and it was very beautiful.
So tell us a little more about the support system you had through your studies.
So the degree is, the person's name who should be in degree is Isha Sharma and the Gupta family. मिस्टर अनूप गुप्ता को हम दे सकते हैं 80% क्रेडिट और 10% हम देंगे मम्मा और आधार को, 10% ईच, क्योंकि माय मदर इन लॉ had been traveling for the 2 years because her parents were not keeping well during that time. Right now they're in a good space, but at that time they were not keeping well, so she had to go to Chandigarh. And Adhar, he was also traveling, he had to travel overseas and for work. So I used to call, like if I have a call at around 8 a.m., so I used to call my father-in-law कि आप 7 बजे तक घर होने चाहिए, तो वो बोलते थे मैं 6:30 ही आ जाऊंगा। So मतलब he was the one who said के uh, now if Isha has to study, then we need to have a nanny for Anahat, because Anahat needs someone to play with. So he took a decision that we should have a nanny for Anahat. And so everybody was involved. And uh, when I was at, like, I did not even tell my parents that I'm preparing for IIM Kashipur, because I thought if God forbids that I am not admitted, then I don't want to look a failure in front of everyone कि ये तो पढ़ रही थी, ये तो एंट्रेंस नहीं क्रैक कर पाई। तो मैंने किसी को बताया नहीं। सो माय फादर इन लॉ कॉल्ड माय फादर कि आपकी बेटी की ना IIM में एडमिशन हो गई। वो कह रहे IIM, ही वाज जोन्ड आउट कि IIM ये कहाँ से चले गए IIM में। तो उन्होंने कहा IIM में एडमिशन हो गई जी इसकी। तो उन्होंने कहा अच्छा, इसने तो हमें कुछ बताया ही नहीं। तो फिर देन आई टोल्ड देम कि अच्छा
तो ईशा
कि
इतनी
IIM काश
सीक्रेटिव है, अगर ईशा को कुछ करना है और वो कर रही है तो वो अपने माँ बाप को भी नहीं बताएगी।
तो आई जस्ट टोल्ड देम कि एंड तो माय फादर इन लॉ यूज्ड टू बी देयर। उन्होंने मेरी DU के एक प्रोफेसर से मेरी मैथ्स और स्टैट्स की ट्यूशन रखवाई। एंड yeah, so he was like, during my convocation, I wanted him to be with me, but there were only two people who were allowed for the convocation ceremony. So he was watching my ceremony live. He took the pictures and he sent it to me on WhatsApp ki congratulations Isha, uh, ये edit कर देना। So he was like, congratulations, Isha. He posted on the group, Isha has got the degree. So, this is the kind of support system that I've had. The Guptas were there for me. Anahat was there. Anahat was always there.
And that is a very It's a very unusual take on a support system where, I mean, it's so beautiful that that happened, and it has a lot to do with the relationship that you've built with him. Okay.
Yeah.
So kudos to father-in-laws. Very nice.
So
So,
now continue.
so there's one more funny story, okay? So I still remember. So whenever my exam, so I had 6 semesters in 2 years. So four months का एक semester होता था. तो fourth जब मेरे exams खत्म होते थे ना, so he used to wait for me. He used to say, "Now we'll party." So he used to say, "We haven't partied for like about 2 months, Isha." So he used to arrange the glasses on the table and he used to say, "Now we will party. It's our day today." So I was like, "Thank you." Matlab, so that's the funny instances that I've had in these 2 years. So
That's
that's it.
quite a different uh, uh, relationship dynamic that you have. That's quite unusual to hear, actually.
Yeah.
That is. And how are things now? Like, how are things looking for you now? In terms of career, in terms of motherhood, um, how are things looking?
Uh,
What are? I know you're not going to tell your plans, but how are things looking now?
So right now, I have started my entrepreneurial journey. So whatever stuff, the research work that I've learned, the marketing techniques that I've learned in these 2 years, I'm using it in my the venture that is going on right now. And talking about motherhood, Anahat will turn 4, so she's a very very understanding girl. Like um like uh, I so one person I talk to when I'm very sad or I do something weird is Chanda. I call her and I'm like, I don't do filtered content when it's about motherhood with Chanda. Filtration is done only when something is very that I have to get something. That is filtration. But when it's about Anahat, motherhood, I talk to her, and there are times when I've cried also. And but one thing that I've learned is that I talk to Anahat. Everything. I listen to her. I even there are times when I scold her. I do that. So I just tell her that I scolded because this happened, and I also apologize. I think my mom and dad never apologized. Never ever. I think उनको पता ही नहीं था सॉरी थैंक यू वर्ड्स होते हैं. सिखा दिया उन्होंने. यू नो हाउ टू बी ग्रेटफुल, ये वो लेक्चर्स दिए मेरे फादर ने, बट उन्होंने यूज ही नहीं किए कभी रियलिटी में ना. He never apologized. He never said sorry. I scolded you. Sorry, I shouldn't have behaved like that with you. I'm sorry. तेरी फ्रेंड के सामने मैंने डांट दिया, कभी नहीं बोला उन्होंने. तो I apologize to my daughter. Even if she's still not convinced, that I'll say, "Will you forgive me?" Then she's like, I'll think about it. So and I'm like, still I'll apologize that I'm sorry. I should not have behaved like that, but I did. I'm not a superhuman. I have not raised any bars in front of my daughter. I ask her to do her work by herself. Um, I'm not a super mom. I'm just a normal mom, and I let her be herself, and I am what I am. I'm not being I'm just being myself. Like I am with my friends, I am with her also. That's me with her. And career wise, though, I'm working good. It's right
That says
now.
that says. Uh, I think the last thing that you said was it's quite a message that you don't have to be a super mom. Actually, no one has to be a super mom. No mom has to do it all and glorify it and be this like perfect image of Durga and do things. So I think it's the most accurate way of being a mom.
I
Good.
completely agree.
This
Like
was a very, very interesting conversation with you. I love the way you took us through your entire journey with all the little details, and I could actually picturize everything that you said, and it was beautiful. Lovely storytelling, by the way. So that was quite nice. And thank you for joining us. And we wish a lot of more conversations with you. And also, we would really like your help marketing our venture as well. Thank you.
Yes.
definitely.
Join our community of amazing mothers. Follow us on social media for more. Bye for now.